Hi, this is Sonia from Garden Tips. Welcome back. Today our topic is garden maintenance. And the first item is watering. This is very important and we it's better to underwater than overwater. So how often do we water? So a good finger test is put your finger in the soil, and if the soil 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch deep is wet, then you're okay. And if it's 5 centimeters or 2 inches down is dry, then you need to water. But again, don't overwater. An average is about 2.5 centimeters of water per week. It's best to water early in the morning before the bright sun comes out and evaporates all the water you've put out there. Don't water at night because it may get too wet overnight and things can become moldy. And the system to use would be soaker hoses or drip irrigation, if you can figure that out. Sprinklers are not recommended because you're sprinkling everything, and really all you want to water is your plants. And with soaker hoses, you can get close to your plants. So the idea is that the water gets to the roots, and how to do that is by keeping your soil light and fluffy. So the next maintenance item is thinning. So you've planted your seeds and you've got all these radishes that are so close together, or your beets are so close together, is to thin them out. Overcrowding is not good. The fruit or the vegetable will not mature to a good size. Follow the package instructions on how to thin. Some suggest cutting off the plants that you want to thin. Some suggest pulling them out. Depends on you and how good you are at that. So definitely get rid of the ones that are in excess or too close together. Some of them you can even eat the greens on top. They're edible. But look up on your plant packet, your seed packet, for those instructions. Secondly, mulching. This helps maintain the temperature for the root system, a constant temperature. And it also, this is a big one for me, it decreases your weeds, because weeding is the one thing people don't like to do, including me. So if you use things like shredded leaves or straw around your plants, especially your bigger plants, then it will cut down on your weeds. And it also increases your soil moisture and maintains that water rather than it all disappearing on you. Thirdly, weeding. We just mentioned weeding. Every week you should at least weed. Don't let things get out of hand, because then you're just gonna quit on yourself. Get them while they're small, but don't weed when your plants are just coming up, sprouting out of the ground, because you might not know what is a weed and what is the vegetable that you want. But after you do this for a while, you'll recognize what the weeds are that grow in your area. So maintain those weeds. And the next one is fertilization. We'll talk more about that next week, but generally use an all-purpose plant food and mix with water and apply every 2 weeks when the garden is producing. And pests, check your plants as they grow bigger regularly. And if you do get some, nip it in the bud. Get that natural soap and water and spray it on them to deal with the problems. So you don't want that to get out of hand either. Otherwise, they'll just eat up your whole plant or ruin all your leaves, which is disappointing when you've put in so much work. So next week, we're going to talk about fertilizing. Have fun this week in your gardens. Remember to catch those weeds when they're little and to water those plants. Have a fun week gardening.